Welcome back to Bedtime Stories with Eli, and the topic of today's bedtime story is, where do 20-year-olds go on dates? One more time. Where do 20-year-olds go on dates? What kind of a question is that? My gosh, I have never seen men and women in their late teens, early to mid to late 20s, and even up until their early 30s struggle in the dating world than I have in this crazy modern dating world we've all been living in, especially the last 5 years, maybe 5 to 10 years that we've had smartphones and we've had these dating apps. Man, I've just never seen anything like this. I mean, what kind of a question is that? You can't even figure out where to go on a date, and there are so many more things to do in the modern world. And you have a smartphone that can help you find those things, and you have to ask a question like that? Anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be discussing here today, which is what I'm trying to say. This is from the subreddit Seduction, which is where this was posted. Again, the topic posted was, where do 20-year-olds go on dates? I, male 20, want to ask out, flirt, female 20. So this woman, are you saying she's a flirt? She's flirting with you, so she wants you. Okay, she's attracted to you, right? But where? But where? Anywhere, dude. Ask her out on a walk. Ask her to go on a hike. Especially if you've known her, right? If you met her at school or a social event or something, if you know this woman and she's been flirting with you, you've already established a rapport, right? She feels comfortable being around you. And she's trying to give you clues that she wants you to ask her out, but she's waiting for you to be the man and take initiative. But you both are 20. And 20-year-olds nowadays, have I'm not going to even say it. They have the brain of like a 5-year-old when it comes to dating. It was just, 50, 100 years ago. By the time people were like 20 or younger, they were married and had many kids. And men were so very mature by the time they hit 20. And our life expectancy was much less back in those days, right? Nowadays, these guys don't start even getting a clue until their early 30s, maybe 35. Some in their 40s. Some will never get it, which is pretty sad. That's why I do what I do, to try to help you guys figure it out, and you gals too. So he's saying, but where do I take her? Coffee? Well, I think coffee would be a horrible first date, bro. She already likes you. You build a rapport. You got to take her somewhere, like where there's a possibility for you two to establish some romance and some hand-holding and kissing. And then you got to set it up in a way where the date ends towards the evening or at night when it's dark, so you can go back somewhere and possibly create an opportunity for sex to happen. Coffee, bar, my apartment, a walk outside. You got the idea, bro. But you got to get the sequence right, okay? She likes you, but you cannot lay it on too thick. You got to show your interest, but you got to make sure your interest is slightly below hers. It has to be more of her idea. And as long as it continues to stay more of her idea, just a little bit more than your idea, then take it one step at a time. Is she going to judge me based alone on the place I pick? I wouldn't say she's going to judge you, but she's looking to see how much of a man you are, how assertive you are, and she's looking to see if you're going to be different than any other guy she's gone on the date with. Okay? Should I wait until the weekend? I'm blank. Note, I'm from Northern Europe. Well, it doesn't matter where you're from, dude. Not a big deal. It's the same thing in every country, right? So here's what I would do if I was you, because you've already established rapport. I would definitely wait until the weekend. When you both aren't, hopefully she doesn't work weekends and you don't either. Okay? I know you both are in your 20s, and a lot of jobs that people work in their 20s are retail jobs. and people are working weekends. But let's say you both have, the upcoming Saturday off, right? So I would say, hey, are you free to get together on Saturday? I've got a great idea. Let me run that by you. Let me know what you think about that, right? Do you like hiking? You like the outdoors? And she'll be like, yeah, I love hiking. No other guy's taking me hiking. Like, wow. Because she's already into you, dude. She trusts you. There's a level of trust already built. So she's not going to be afraid to go out in the woods on a hike with you. But take her on a hike where there are a lot of other people. Get the All Trails app and go on a hike where, at least it says there's that hike is moderately trafficked or highly trafficked. So that way she feels more comfortable. And quite honestly, I prefer going on hikes where there are lots of people just in case something happens, right? But yeah, take her on a hike and make it an all-day event, right? And you wanna meet up with her in the afternoon. You want to meet up with her in the afternoon, and you want to probably do a 4 to 6 mile hike at least or so, and time it to the point of where by the time that hike ends, it's probably going to be an hour before darkness, right? Before, the sun goes down and it gets dark, right? Okay. And you want to do that because after the hike, if the hike goes well and she's holding your hand and there's been a little kissy and stuff like that, if that's all good, then you say, hey, let's go to dinner. You want to go to dinner? What's your favorite type of food? I have some ideas. I know some great restaurants in the area. And she'll probably just let you pick the restaurant because she's probably come across other guys that haven't even taken it to that point, right? So if it's going well, there's kissy poo on the hiking trail, holding hands and stuff like that, okay? And she's showing more interest in affectionate ways. Take her to a nice dinner. And then, if I was you, I would sit across from her. Don't sit right next to her if it's like a booth or something on a first date. But look to see if she starts coming closer to you, because whenever I've gone to dinner on a first date, which it hasn't been that way for a while, I do my first dates differently. But in your situation, because you already know who she is and you've already established rapport, it would be okay to take her to dinner after a hike if on the hike she showed you some interest and affection, and you're beginning to really see that, hey, you know what? She's attracted to you, and there's a great chance of sex to happen, because you're not going to be in the door, and she's not going to consider, possibly dating you until after sex happens, right? So, so let's say you're at the restaurant, and then she starts scooting closer to you as she starts to, rub your arm. I had a girlfriend in my 30s that did that on a first date. I sat across her, and then she started scooting closer to me, and she started just rubbing my shoulders, and she started looking at me with those glistening eyes. And, I didn't say anything. I knew what was going on. In my head, I was thinking, I'm going to get laid tonight, right? Now, I'm a good guy. I don't look at women in that way. I'm a relationship-minded guy, and I did end up having a relationship with this woman. But I was thinking to myself, even a blind bat can see, the fact that this woman really wants me, right? So look for those signs, right? If she's rubbing your shoulders and stuff, right? Once the date ends, or once the dinner ends, at that point, you can tell her as you're walking out, I had a great time tonight. What do you feel like hanging out a little bit more? You want to take a walk? And she might say, how close is your place here? You want to go hang out at your place? A woman that's really, really into you and wants you, right? She will suggest to go back to your place or her place or something. And, if she says that, maybe you could throw a joke back at her and say, well, I don't sleep with anyone on the first date, but I'd be happy to hang out with you, right? Right? And that's going to throw her off, because there's not a guy on the planet that wouldn't, sleep with a woman on the first date if it felt right to do so, right? And next thing you know, she might get a laugh out of that, and she would say, come on over, or let's go to your place, right? Then you go over to your place or her place, sit down on the couch, maybe talk a little bit more, and let her come to you. Let her keep coming to you. And when you get to her place or your place, and she's scooting closer over to you, right? And she comes next to you, then just look her in the eyes and start to kiss her. And then let the night unfold. It's going to end up in the bedroom, and she'll probably stay the night, or you'll stay the night at her place. That's all you have to do, bro. It's a pretty simple concept. Like one of my other favorite, dating coaches or relationship coaches states, Coach Corey Wayne, hang out, have fun, and hook up. It's the 3 H's. Hang out. Your job as a man is to hang out, have fun, and hook up. You want to create a romantic, fun-filled opportunity for sex to happen. That's it. That's all your job as a man is. Let the woman do all the texting, calling, and pursuing in between. And when the woman reaches out to you, just say, hey, babe, great to hear from you. When are you free to get together next time? I had a great time with you the last time. Hopefully you did too, right? That's it. Pretty simple. Let me read a couple comments real quick before we wrap this up. Oh, man. Northern European here. My two go-to options are a coffee shop or a wine bar. No. Don't ever take a woman for coffee or a wine bar on a first date unless you've met her offline and you've established some rapport with her and you have a great idea that she's attracted to you, right? Don't worry about her judging you. If she doesn't like your choice, that's her problem. There will be other women who will like your choice. Here's the thing that you guys don't get, okay? When a woman first lays eyes on you, she's going to know within 3 seconds if there's a large rush or spark of sexual attraction. If that's not there, it doesn't matter where you take her. Quite frankly, a woman that's attracted to you, you could meet her in a supermarket parking lot like I do. Like the current woman I'm with right now. She's an amazing woman, right? I decided to meet her in her area after she got off work late one night. She works in retail management, so she got off work at 9 o'clock. I met her at 9:30 at a Safeway parking lot. Okay, there are lights, but it's kind of still dark a little bit. It kind of, the nighttime, encourages the romantic mood, right? So what I do is, well, in the past, because now I'm not single anymore, but what I would do is I would, try to gauge the woman's level of interest before setting up a date. And if I felt like, something, good was happening, if I felt like she was not guarded and easygoing and would be open to meeting, like in the supermarket parking lot, just to sit in my car and talk, for half an hour or so, then I would ask. And then once that would happen, like with this woman I'm with right now, we met up and literally within a minute or two, we were making out. And we just knew. It clicked. We had that strong physical attraction, and we had talked by phone, so she knew I was a good guy. I knew she was a good woman, and that's that. The bottom line is, guys, nothing matters until, you meet, and that first 3 seconds when you meet is going to tell the whole story of your fate, and it's both ways. You're going to know within 3 seconds if you're 100% physically attracted to her or close to it, and she's going to know within 3 seconds as well. So why get stuck in a coffee shop or a wine bar or a dinner? Why even arrange that before you know if there's going to be physical attraction or not? Let's see a couple more comments. Exactly. That's the whole point of dates, to weed out people that aren't a good match. Right. But don't invest too much into it until you find that out. And you cannot find that out until you meet in person. Now, again, this guy in this posting already knew this woman or knows this woman. They probably go to school together or maybe work together or whatever, right? And she's been flirting with him. So he can skip all this stuff and he can take her to dinner if he wants, But first I would go on a hike, like on a Saturday, like I said, which is not going to really cost you anything unless some state parks, they'll charge you a small fee. But there are a lot of hiking trails all over the world that are free. Take her on a hike, see how it goes. If it goes well, then take her to dinner. If that goes well, See if she wants to, continue the night. She'll let you know. And if she does, you'll end up at your place or her place, and boom, it'll happen. You know what'll happen. Let's see, one more here. First date rules. I'm going to read this here, and then I'm going to wrap this up. So this commenter has 5 first date rules. Public spaces. Defined beginning. You spelled it D-E-F-I-N-D. Oh, you misspelled D-E-F-I-N-D. Okay, defined beginning. Okay. Yeah, you could set it up. Like I said, depending on whether you met her online or you have some rapport with her, you can either, go on a hike on a first date and then maybe dinner, or meet her like in a public parking lot, in the early evening. Make sure you're always meeting women in the evening, guys, because that's after work, and that's going to bring out the romantic mood. And if you encounter women that are afraid to meet at night, it means they're afraid to allow any type of intimacy to happen, right? And if that's the case, they're just closed off. They're not ready for a relationship. So the right woman that's ready and in a good place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, will meet you in the evening. Let's see. Defined end. Putt-putt golf or a loop trail is great for this. Okay, yeah, like a hiking trail. I wouldn't say golf would be a good first date. You want to go somewhere it's not going to cost you really any money. And you want to go to a place where there are going to be people, but not an abundance of people. Hiking trails are great for this. Okay. Like he says here, ice cream and coffee empty means say goodbye. No, and I wouldn't define an ending. I would say, hey, let's meet up for a hike, and maybe we'll do dinner as well. See how it goes, right? Right? Leave the option open for the both of you, because unless you both feel it after the hiking trail, and you'll know while you're on the hiking trail, it won't move forward to, the next part of the date. But don't define an end of the date, because then you're ruining the possibility of any intimacy or sex happening. Okay? Arrive separately. I disagree with that. Unless you're meeting like at a Safeway parking lot, it depends on the situation. If you're gonna go on a hike on a first date and you have some rapport with the woman, I would definitely pick her up, because going out these hiking trails, sometimes you're going out into some windy road areas, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to both drive there. So, but you can figure out when it's necessary for both of you to drive or only one of you to drive. Somewhere you can talk. Right, hiking trails are perfect for that. No one wants halfway through an undefined date to realize this isn't for them and feel trapped. No, here's the thing. If you define the date, they're going to feel trapped. If you have an undefined date, meaning that all you do is schedule like a hike, okay? Or meet like in a supermarket parking lot or something. And, you can even say this, guys. Nowadays, even women are saying this. They're saying, let's meet for a chemistry check. Before I met the woman I was with, I had many women before that say, why don't we meet up for a quick chemistry check and see if it's there? All right, that's actually not a bad idea. That way, no one's investing any money or too much time. You get to the point, the chemistry will be there or not, right? And if it is, you make out a bit, then you set up a real date, and you go from there. Let's see. If it is going well, suggest sweet places. Point of dates are to get to know the other person. Therefore, you don't assume this is the start to long term. It is a trial run. You're looking for one thing. Do you both have a large rush or spark of sexual attraction within the first 3 seconds of meeting each other? If that's not there within the first 3 seconds when you lay eyes on each other, nothing else will ever matter for either one of you. Doesn't matter how nice you are, how much money you make, how emotionally strong you are, how mentally competent you are, how great of a conversationalist you are. the first thing that has to be there for both sides is the physical attraction. It's either there or it isn't. Attraction is a must and not a choice. That's what you guys and gals both need to focus on. But guys seem to struggle with this a lot more. So guys, just take my advice. Take my advice. Keep this in mind. You want to see if there's a large rush or spark of sexual attraction when you first meet the lady within 3 seconds before investing anything more. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this video here today. I want to thank you for taking the time to view this video. Hope you got some great value here today. Another video is coming to this channel soon. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and I will catch you all next time. Have a great night's sleep and take it easy and be good to each other as always, right? Yeah. Good night.